Hello! Buckle up for a gripping tale of loyalty, betrayal, and the devastating consequences of unchecked emotions. This story, rooted in the heart of a close-knit family, unravels a web of secrets and choices that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Without giving anything away, prepare for a journey through love, sacrifice, and a shocking twist that changes everything. If you enjoy this thrilling narrative, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button to support more stories like this. Now, let's dive into the tale. In the ancient city of Homs, Syria, Salma, a 23-year-old woman of striking beauty and unyielding resolve, carried the weight of her family's well-being on her slender shoulders. Her parents, frail and ailing, depended on her entirely. Her older brother, Nagi, had married and moved to Damascus for work, leaving Salma as the sole caretaker of their elderly parents. Fresh out of university, she took a modest job, its meager salary barely covering their expenses. Yet, Salma's spirit remained unbroken, her days filled with tending to her parents' needs in their humble home. Despite her charm and grace, Salma turned away every suitor who came her way. Friends, neighbors, even colleagues hinted at proposals, but she dismissed them all. Her heart was tethered to her duty. Her parents needed her, and she would not abandon them. "Marriage can wait," she'd say, her voice firm, yet tinged with quiet sorrow. "My parents are my priority." Years passed, marked by loss and solitude. When her father passed away, Salma's world shrank further, leaving only her mother to care for. As her friends married and started families, Salma, now in her mid-20s, felt the sting of isolation. The dreams of a normal life, a husband, children, a home of her own, flickered in her mind. But her mother's frail health anchored her. She made a vow. Any man who wished to marry her must accept her mother into their home. It was a condition few could accept, and one by one, suitors walked away, unwilling to shoulder the responsibility of an elderly, ailing woman. By the time Salma reached 31, her mother, too, passed away. Grief consumed her, but with no one left to care for, she faced a new kind of emptiness. Her brother Nagi, now struggling with his own burdens, childlessness, medical treatments, and financial strain, insisted she move to Damascus to live with him and his wife Amal. Salma, reluctant but with no other choice, left her childhood home. The move to Nagi's home marked the beginning of new tensions. Amal, Nagi's wife, was a commanding presence, her strong personality overshadowing even her husband. From the moment Salma arrived, Amal's dominance clashed with Salma's quiet resilience. Petty disputes escalated into daily battles, each woman refusing to yield. Nagi, caught between his sister and his wife, tried to stay neutral, hoping they'd resolve their differences. But the household simmered with unspoken resentment. Nagi's financial struggles worsened. His job barely covered the costs of his and Amal's medical treatments for infertility, a source of deep pain for the couple. When Amal's relative offered Nagi a lucrative job in Qatar, doubling his salary, with housing and annual tickets included, he seized the opportunity. The catch? He'd be gone for 6 to 7 months at a time, returning only for brief leaves. Salma and Amal were left to coexist in his absence, their animosity growing unchecked. Each time Nagi returned, he was greeted with complaints. Amal accused Salma of disrespect. Salma countered that Amal was controlling and cruel. Nagi, exhausted from this time abroad, begged them to keep their disputes from him. "I'm in a foreign land, working to provide for us," he'd say. "Solve it yourselves." But the tension only deepened, a storm brewing beneath the surface. In 2009, the fragile balance shattered. Nagi returned from Qatar after a 6-month stint, eager to see his family. He found Amal in the kitchen, preparing a meal, and greeted her warmly. But when he asked about Selma, Amal's tone shifted. "She's in her room," she said curtly. "Hasn't come out for 2 days." Alarmed, Nagi knocked on Salma's door. Her voice, weak and hesitant, welcomed him from behind the closed door. "I'll see you later, after you rest," she said, refusing to open it. Nagi's concern turned to insistence. "Open the door, Salma. What's wrong?" When she finally relented, the sight broke him. Her face was swollen, her eyes red from crying, her spirit crushed. "What happened?" Nagi demanded. Salma tried to brush it off as a minor spat with Amal, but Nagi pressed harder. Under his relentless questioning, she crumbled. "I didn't want to ruin your marriage," she sobbed. "But I can't let you be deceived. Amal, she's been unfaithful. With Hassan, the man who runs the coffee shop down the street. I saw them together." Nagi's world collapsed. Rage surged through him, drowning out reason. He stormed to his room, retrieved his gun, and confronted Amal in the kitchen. "Is it true?" he roared, grabbing her by the hair. Amal, clutching a wooden spoon, denied everything, her defiance turning to fury. She struck him with the spoon, screaming, "You and your sister have ruined my life!" In a blind rage, Nagi fired. 2 bullets struck Amal in the head, and she collapsed, lifeless, on the kitchen floor. Salma rushed in, screaming, "Why, Nagi? Why?" But Nagi, consumed by grief and fury, sank to the ground. The police arrived swiftly, arresting Nagi and removing Amal's body. In his initial interrogation, Nagi was incoherent, his mental state unraveling. A medical emergency revealed a dangerous spike in his blood sugar, leading to a stroke. Hospitalized and stabilized, he later confessed, "I killed her to defend my honor. She betrayed me with Hassan." Investigators turned to Salma, who initially claimed ignorance, saying she'd only heard the shots. But under pressure, she corroborated Nagi's story, alleging she'd witnessed Amal and Hassan in a compromising situation. She described Amal's threats to silence her, painting a picture of a household ruled by fear. The investigation took a dramatic turn when they questioned Hassan, the coffee shop owner. He denied any affair with Amal, insisting she was a respectable neighbor. When confronted with Salma's accusations, he dropped a bombshell. "Salma and I had a relationship. It was just talk, admiration, nothing more. I considered proposing, but I realized she wasn't right for me. She must have fabricated this story out of spite." Salma, faced with Hassan's testimony, broke down. "I hated him," she admitted. "Amal found out about my feelings for Hassan and threatened to tell Nagi. She confronted him and he cut me off. I was sure she was behind it. When Nagi returned, I lied to protect myself. I didn't mean for her to die. I just wanted to shift the blame." The truth devastated Nagi. He had killed his wife based on a lie, a misunderstanding fueled by his sister's manipulation. His health deteriorated further, but the legal system showed no mercy. Both Nagi and Salma were sentenced to 15 years in prison for their roles in the tragedy. Nagi for murder, Salma for incitement. Yet as Syria descended into chaos, their sentences were cut short. Released amid the turmoil, they fled to Turkey, carrying the weight of their choices. Now, in a foreign land, they live quietly, bound by guilt and the unbreakable bond of family, forever haunted by the day their lives unraveled.